Retirement once meant completely stopping work after a long career. Now it can mean achieving financial freedom in order to take money out of the equation, allowing you to pursue whatever you please, which might be work, but that doesn't have to be. Financial freedom has become a buzzword in personal growth forums, and it has multiple definitions. For me, financial freedom is about choice, choosing who to work with on which projects from wherever in the world you want to be. It also means being able to say no to anything other than work that fulfills your mission and purpose. And yes, to those opportunities that aren't necessarily well paid or aren't incredibly exciting. You win at life by being paid to do work that you love so much you do it for free. An extension of this is not having to work, but believing so strongly that you're onto something that it's how you're going to choose to spend your time. If that sounds appealing, here's how to set it up. Number 1, work out the numbers. The FIRE movement, Financial Independence, Retire Early, is one that provides specific calculations to work out where you are versus where you want to be. It works on the basis of setting aside 25 times your annual living expenses and putting it into investments. It's not for everyone, but the premise is solid. Work out where you are and work out what you need to do. Without an idea of how much you earn and how much you spend, it's impossible to project forward. Start with a blank piece of paper and work out your numbers. Use banking apps such as Revolut to analyze your spending and get good at spreadsheets. The penny saved is a penny earned mentality works on a scarcity premise and isn't congruent with the mindset of big thinkers or ambitious people. Alongside thinking of costs, think of opportunities. Think of the value you could bring to others and the financial rewards gained as a result of that. Incorporate that into your forecasts. Number 2, be low maintenance. Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, describes doodads as things that you buy that cost you money or waste you money. They might include luxury cars, jewelry, or lavish clothes. In other words, anything that you don't really need. The minimalists, however, advocate focusing on less, fewer possessions and fewer obligations. Fewer focus on unimportant materialism and more on spending time with people. Their mantra is love people, use things, because the opposite, it just never works. Being low maintenance is a vibe and it's achievable for everyone. It involves opting out of the unnecessary expense commitments in favor of finding happiness in simplicity. From a financial standpoint, every day of minimalism stacks up and could mean financial freedom is a whole lot closer. In this article by Derek Sivers, he talks about how he got rich on the other hand, explaining that it's not how much you have, it's the difference between what you have and what you spend. If you have more than you spend, you're rich. And if you spend more than you have, you're not. If you live cheaply, it's quite easy to be free. Number 3, take bigger risks. With small risks come small rewards. With big risks come big rewards. What each individual is comfortable with varies wildly. Given, however, that you're not going to live forever, why not take the big risks? Ask the big questions. Start that company you can't stop thinking about. Approach that person for that collaboration. You owe it to your future self to make the decisions that will make him or her proud. There are many reasons you should be dreaming bigger. As Daniel Burnham says, architect of Chicago, make no little plans. They have no magic to stir man's blood. Most people who retired or became financially free in their 30s didn't do it from a steady salary or a stable job. They did it from scalable ideas, a fast lane project, uniting a tribe, or effecting huge change with a cause that mattered. They did it taking risks that had never been done before, not working a 9 to 5 and imitating their competitors. To get what no one else has, do what no one else will do. If you need inspiration, think of the people who inspire you the most, those who make you want to up your game in a big way. Find them online and channel the motivation into replicating it for yourself. Number 4, start earlier. From an old Chinese proverb, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Most people don't think about what they want their future to look like until they're too far down one path. Many never get around to intentionally designing their life or career or even their weekend. But the earlier you make your plan, the sooner you can make progress, or the sooner you can iterate and pivot. Start earlier by making your plan immediately. Make your plan by asking better questions. If I had 2 weeks to do this, how would I do it? How could I make this 10 times bigger? Number 5, choose your company. You become a combination of the 5 people you spend the most time with. 5 people working together on collective financial freedom could be the sole reason you reach financial freedom earlier. As Tony Robbins says, energy flows where attention goes. Share your plans with your closest circle and watch them be realized at record speed. A close alternative comes from reading books. The authors become your mentors, exhibiting the research and presenting the case before giving clear guidance and inspiring you along the route they advocate. There are as many methods of financial education as there are people, but Rich Dad Poor Dad, the 4-Hour Work Week, and Playing with Fire are good places to start. It's never before been more attainable to reach financial freedom and your version of retirement earlier than former generations. It requires careful planning, inventive thinking, and an assessment of what's really important. Dream big, create the plans, make incredible things happen, and the rest will follow. Number 6 is going to be invest, invest, invest. You can't get rich if your money is only being saved. To be honest, if you save a portion of your salary, this is of course one of the first steps. But if you don't invest that money, it's going to be very, very hard to grow that money. With the current economy and the coronavirus taking a toll on the banks, we've seen that the interest rates are at the lowest point that they have been for a very long time. This means that if you have money in the bank, right now it's going to be losing money over time due to inflation. This means that you need to find somewhere else to park your money, or else in the future you're going to be in a difficult position. So what you need to do is you need to pick a long-term investing strategy that is very, very reliable and can withstand economic meltdowns. As we've seen in the past, the coronavirus and many other things can affect the global markets, and you don't want to be someone whose entire investing portfolio is at the whim of another global pandemic. So I would recommend setting up a form of investing that is very passive, very automated, and risk-free. So if you earn a monthly salary, like most people do, I would recommend setting aside $200 to $300 to be put into a very, very passive investment. The reason I suggest this is because if you have to actively invest, this is much more difficult and there is much more risk involved. You see, investing usually involves people's emotions, and when the markets go up or the markets take a huge hit and go down, you don't want your emotions to be mixing with your money. So I would recommend setting aside perhaps $300 every month to be automated into a low index fund. Make sure that it's automated so that way you won't think about it and your investment account will continue to grow. In addition, when investing, not only do you want a large bit of savings, you're also going to want some cash flow. So it's wise to look at things like real estate and dividend investing stocks so that you can continue to earn a monthly cash flow.